I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, December the 16th, 2014. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry today said that a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict must come from the parties themselves and cannot be imposed upon them. Speaking at a press conference in London, Kerry also said that the status quo was unsustainable and that he was having constructive conversations with the parties to try and find the best way to move forward. Kerry met today with Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat and a delegation from the Arab League on a resolution the Palestinians said they would submit to the United Nations Security Council tomorrow, which calls for a 2-year deadline for Israeli withdrawal from the West Bank. Kerry met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Rome yesterday, where Netanyahu rejected the Palestinian resolution. The Prime Minister said the attempts of the Palestinians and of several European countries to force conditions on Israel will only lead to a deterioration in the regional situation and will endanger Israel. Referring there also to another resolution spearheaded by France, which sets a timetable for a peace agreement without mentioning Israeli withdrawal. Kerry also said today that the U.S. had not made any determinations yet regarding the Palestinian resolution. In the past, the U.S. has vetoed unilateral moves by the Palestinians, and after his meeting with Kerry yesterday, Netanyahu told reporters, "Our expectation is that the United States will stand by its position for the past 47 years, that a solution to the conflict will be achieved through negotiations, and I do not see a reason for this policy to change." Meanwhile, the Times of Israel reported that Palestinian Authority Foreign Minister Riyad Maliki suggested today that the Palestinian submission to the UN might be delayed to later in the month. He also said that the PA would be open to the French-backed draft resolution with some revisions. Israel police today raided the homes of 10 leading members of the LeHil organization, the far-right Jewish extremist group that fights against Jewish-Arab coexistence, arresting the members on suspicion of incitement and calls to commit racist violence and terrorism. 3 of the LeHil's young members were indicted yesterday over the arson they are suspected of committing at the Jewish-Arab bilingual Max Rain Hand-in-Hand School in Jerusalem 2 weeks ago. A German court in the city of Lüneburg will try a former SS guard next year for being an accessory to the murder of 300,000 Jews. Reuters reports that the 93-year-old man, who is not being named, is accused of being a guard at the Auschwitz death camp between September of 1942 and October of 44. The charges claim he knew that the Jews who arrived at the camp and were told they were going to the showers were really going to the gas chambers. The man's job at Auschwitz was counting and managing the money that was seized from those deported there. Police are investigating several swastikas found painted on the side of a building on the campus of Tufts University. Boston.com reports the swastikas were found Saturday morning, and campus police were working together with local authorities to find those responsible. The school, which has been hit by the hateful graffiti before, said they were taking this recent incident very seriously, and that such deplorable acts, which are counter to the values of the Tufts community, are deeply concerning. Last spring, over 20 swastikas were spray painted throughout the campus on the eve of Holocaust Remembrance Day. Jerusalem and Tel Aviv were chosen today as the first non-U.S. cities to receive grants from Bloomberg Philanthropies. The grants allow the city's mayors to hire and fund innovation teams to improve the lives of their residents for up to 3 years. Jerusalem will receive $850,000 per year to focus on poverty and economic development in the city. Tel Aviv-Yafo will receive $650,000 per year to focus on issues related to cost of living and illegal immigration. Former New York City Mayor and philanthropist Michael Bloomberg said more and more city governments around the world are eager to innovate, so we're excited to expand the program beyond U.S. borders by bringing I-teams to Jerusalem and Tel Aviv-Yafo. And turning now to our programming for tonight, Tuesday, December the 16th. For the first night of Hanukkah, JBS presents exclusive television coverage of the U.S. National Bible Contest for Adults that determines which outstanding Bible scholars will represent the U.S. at the International Bible Contest, or Chidon HaTanakh, for adults in Jerusalem. That airs tonight from 7 to 9. Followed by LeHil at 9 o'clock as Mark Golub sits down with Dr. Ruth Westheimer, who tells her story of survival during the Holocaust, her aliyah to Israel, and becoming a sniper for the Haganah. That's here on JBS and jbstv.org. And you can check all of our special Hanukkah programming, including our celebrity lighting of the menorah every evening during the holiday at 5:30 on the website jbstv.org. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, December the 16th. I'm Teisha Bader. Chag Sameach.